Fowler Files with our senior NFL writer, Jeremy Fowler, a bit of a wild card himself.
Being honest. I got to open up the jacket.
Yeah, let's open it up.
Let it fly, dude. Come on.
Let's talk about Matt Stafford. I think we should. Rams, Panthers today. Stafford, the back injury leading up to this season. And there were some questions about his future with the Rams leading into what could be an MVP season 46 touchdowns later. What can you tell us about his journey now to Wild Card Weekend?
Yeah, Randy, here's how Matthew Stafford got to that MVP level. So in the offseason, there were all those trade rumors you saw. Matthew Stafford realized, I don't want to leave L.A. I never wanted to leave. You look at the Raiders, sorry. New York Giants teams are interested. He realized, like, hey, the grass is definitely not greener. I've got a great thing going with Sean McVay. So McVay devised a plan this offseason to protect Stafford at age 37. He's taken only 23 sacks this year, in part because they're running a lot of under center action, a lot of 2 to 3 tight end sets, more than he ever has. So McVay changed that, and that's why they're here. And I talked to Colby Parkinson, the tight end. He said, McVay and Stafford are the two smartest football minds I've ever been around. We're counting on those two guys to get it done this offseason. He's got his contract. He's got $40 million that guarantees in March. I'm told he will be a priority, whether it's just playing out that deal or they redo the deal.
Yeah.
The Rams will be all in on keeping Stafford.
Wow. This game starts the NFL's Wild Card Weekend. Meanwhile, 3 playoff games tomorrow. I got to talk about a couple of key injuries in those games.
Yeah.
Let's start with Philly, Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson is dealing with the foot issue. He's been out since week 11, questionable for this game. I continue to hear that the Eagles are optimistic that he can go. He did practice, but was kind of in and out. So even the questionable tag was a little surprising because he's been trending up. They've been really kind of saving him the last few weeks to make sure he is good to go against San Francisco. So that is the plan right now, barring something unforeseen. Lane Johnson should be back on the field really for the first time in about 2 months. And you got Trent Williams, a little bit of a similar situation. He had a hamstring. They decided they were going to rest him the last 2 weeks of the regular season. The hope has clearly been that he will be back for the playoffs. I've continued to hear that. So another situation with the big guy, Hall of Famer, just like Lane Johnson. Like, they want to be out there for the playoffs, so they were resting up. Williams did practice this week, which is a good sign. Ricky Pearsall, the wide receiver, however, was out yesterday. So both are questionable. Pearsall doesn't seem to be trending in the right direction, but Williams still is trending right, so they're hopeful.
Already thin receiving core there for the Niners, having to take on the Eagles. In Philly, that is J-Bone Capone. Jeremy Fowler, thank you, sir.
Heading into the playoffs, running a 4-game losing streak, just the 4th team in league history to make the playoffs despite losing their final 4 games of the regular season. Jordan Love, though, will be back under center. The Bears finally found their way back into the playoffs and are hosting their first playoff game since the 2020 NFC Wild Card versus the Eagles in the infamous double doink. Rams currently sit as minus 10.5-point favorites versus the Panthers. Haven't been favored by more than 8 points in a playoff game since losing Super Bowl 36 to the Patriots in the 2001 season. And on the flip side, the Panthers will be the second largest home underdog in a playoff game in the Super Bowl era. That is since 1966. It is their first playoff appearance since 2017. It's time to huddle up.
He's back. Yes, Cam Newton is expected back at Bank of America Stadium to hit the ceremonial keep pounding drum. It'll be the Panthers' first playoff home game since 2015 when Newton was the quarterback. But this game is all about quarterback Bryce Young in his first playoff game. The Panthers need him to get back to what he did on November 30th when he threw 3 touchdown passes and had a balanced game, balanced attack with the running game to beat the Rams. That hasn't been the case the last couple of weeks. Young has played poorly. The run-ess game has been almost non-existent. But Young hasn't lost his confidence. He believes he can get that back, and more importantly, his teammates still believe in him. As guard Austin Corbett told me, moments like this are made for Bryce Young.
There were times during training camp as Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford was dealing with a back injury that he didn't know if he'd be healthy to start the season. This week, as the Rams prepared for the playoffs, Stafford admitted that there were some lean moments during training camp and said it was touch and go at times there. Now, at age 37 and in his 17th NFL season, Stafford has a chance to bring the Rams back to the Super Bowl for the first time since winning it during the 2021 season. But as the Rams prepared to play the Panthers in the first round of the playoffs, both Stafford and head coach Sean McVay said they don't take any of these opportunities to play in these games for granted. There are 18 other teams that would love to be in this situation, McVay said.
3 weeks. That's how long it's been since Jordan Love has taken a snap in a game. He hasn't been on the field since Week 16 at Chicago when he sustained a concussion in the second quarter. Now, he was cleared last week before the regular season finale, but Coach Matt LaFleur held out Love and several other key starters to rest them for the playoffs. This week, Love discounted any notion that he might be rusty, saying, "I don't have any concerns about that." If you're looking for another player who might factor into this game, look no further than cornerback Keyshawn Nixon. He clinched the win over the Bears at Lambeau Field with an interception at the end, but he gave up the game-winning touchdown at Chicago in overtime. Nixon said, "I gamed them, they gamed me. The loser goes home, and I don't want to go home."
Ben Johnson was surprised to learn how few times the Bears and Packers have met in the playoffs, and the rarity of that opportunity isn't lost on his players. "It took me 8 years to get here," wide receiver DJ Moore said, noting that he had never been a part of a winning season dating back to high school until now. While Chicago faces Green Bay for a third time in 5 weeks, the Bears view the wild card round as the start of a new season, one that will require a faster start than recent games. After the Lions lost, Johnson told players that if you're not prepared to play 5 more weeks, if you're thinking about booking flights or a vacation, don't come in. That urgency is felt by quarterback Caleb Williams, who described the Bears as flat in that Week 18 loss. "We don't have time for that anymore," Williams said. "That's the mindset. Go out there, start fast, we'll make sure of it."
It's awesome to get to spend a couple of minutes with Louis Riddick on SportsCenter this morning. Louis, good morning to you. What is the biggest thing you'll be watching for in this Packers-Bears matchup?
It's all about the run game, and it's all about specifically about the Packers' run defense against this Bears rush offense. Look at the Packers over how they finished the season. Week 17 against the Baltimore Ravens, they gave up 307 rushing yards, 5.8 per carry. Week 16 against Chicago, they gave up 150 yards rushing, 5.8 per carry. That's not going to fly at this time of year, man. We know it's all about the trenches. And when you're talking about Chicago and you're talking about DeAndre Swift, who you see on your screen, and Kyle Monangai, these two guys will bludgeon you. And the Packers got bullied in those 2 weeks in particular. The Ravens could do whatever they wanted to do. And then there were people getting blown off the football. And look, we know what Derrick Henry's going to do when you're winning the line of scrimmage. We also know how the Bears have bullied people this year as well, and some really good football teams up front. That's where it starts. That, to me, is where it ends. You better win the trenches. And for the Packers, they better be ready to go, because you know Ben Johnson will be dialing up runs over and over again, because that's what this time of year is all about.
That's the nightcap. We start things off with Rams-Panthers. What do you think this game could ultimately, Louis, come down to?
Look, I just saw the Carolina Panthers recently, man, down in Tampa Bay. And look, what it's about for them is their inability to consistently produce plus 20-yard explosive plays on offense. Bryce Young has to be able to push the ball down the field, get those yards per attempt up around 7, 8, 9 yards per attempt. And the guy he needs to get the ball to is Teteroa McMillan, who is fantastic, who you see on your screen. He is a high riser. He is a rebounder down the field that can win those contested 50-50 balls. And it's not always going to be contested. And when you look at the Rams defense, you know, over the past 8 weeks of the season, they're in the bottom third, bottom quarter of the league in plus 20-yard explosives given up. And it doesn't matter if they're playing that soft shell, cover 2, cover 4 zone defense, or their corners get singled up one-on-one. Every team has been able to exploit them outside the numbers, down the field with explosives. And Bryce Young's going to have to do that, especially considering their offense that they're going up against. You know Matthew Stafford and this Rams offense are going to produce some points. No one has really slowed them down. They're not going to be slowed down today. So Bryce Young is going to have to match them with some of his own, high wire act, some of his own explosive plays down the field. And I think they can get them.
More numbers, ESPN Analytics only giving the Panthers, who are hosting this game, a 25% chance of beating the visiting Rams. Louis Riddick joining us this morning on SportsCenter. Louis, thanks so much.
More like wild card, but like go with it, because featured prominently, this man.
Jacksonville, the community, Duval.
Liam Cohen is the man who started our weekly over-under bet. And if the Jags, who've already won 8 in a row, take out the Bills in Jacksonville, by the way, then Cohen has the chance to absolutely unleash in that locker room. And I am here for that. For the record, I am setting the number at 8 because I have my reasons.
Look, for right now, enjoy the out of this. And how about our kicker camera? That's how y'all set that. Oh, well, you win, man. That felt pretty damn good.
Well, the lingering cost of success has always been expectations, and that's exactly what's facing Josh Allen starting Sunday when the Bills start their playoff run in Jacksonville. No Mahomes, no Burrow, or Jackson anywhere to be found, so Allen is clearly the top QB in the AFC bracket. And fair or not, if last year's MVP can't lead his team to the Super Bowl this season, that can't win the big one label will land squarely on the back of Allen's jersey, just like it currently sits on Lamar's.
The oldest rivalry in all of football is 212 games old. It goes back to November the 27th, 1921. The Packers and the Bears have played each other twice in the playoffs. And when it comes to game number 3,
I don't know.
Actually, that is a bit of a lie. I do know my mom will not watch the game with me. I also know that there will be a hotly contested chili-off at Casa Briscoe. But when it comes to the game itself, the Packers, they've not won since December the 7th when they actually beat the Bears. And the Bears, how many one-score wins this season that could have gone the other way? Because I actually have it at 7. Confidence is high when it comes to my chili, and that is about it.
I like chili. Now that we've made it to the playoffs, are the real Philadelphia Eagles finally going to stand up? Yeah, they repeated as NFC East champs, the first time that's happened in that division in 2 decades. And yes, they won 11 games, earning them the 3 seed. But let's be real. Some of their losses had the rest of the league looking at the defending champions like Killmonger. Is this your king? But maybe the struggles are all part of the plot. Because if the Eagles become the 10th team to win back-to-back Super Bowls, they would be the most unlikely defending champs to have pulled it off.
This is seriously